You're in your pajamas. Coffee half made, planning to just exist. Then it happens again, the sound your body has learned to dread. Akita turns in the lock. "Hello!" floats down the hall, bright, cheerful, and unstoppable. She's here again, unannounced again, and your partner barely looks up from the phone. You catch their eyes, a silent "please not today." They give the smallest shrug. "What do you want me to do?" This ends today. Let me tell you about Sarah and Mike. They're real. Names changed. Hearts very familiar. 3 years married. A sweet apartment with light in the mornings. A tiny patio. 2 coffee mugs that never match. They are still learning the rhythm of work, sleep, love, quiet. And 20 minutes away is Mike's mother, Linda. Close enough to help, far enough to keep separate lives, or so Sarah thought. After the honeymoon, Linda watered plants and collected packages. They gave her a key. They said thank you. They hugged at the door. When they returned, Linda pressed a key into Mike's palm and smiled. "I brought this back, of course." What she didn't say is that she also made a copy for emergencies. Might. Practical, Mike thought. Sarah felt the small twist in her stomach, the quiet alarm that says something is off. She told herself to be easy, to be kind, to be family. She put the feeling on a shelf. The Poppins began small. A pot of soup no one asked for. A magazine clipping with marriage tips circled in red. A breezy "I was in the neighborhood." A grocery bag that couldn't stay in the car. Always an excuse to cross the threshold. Always a reason to linger. You know the pattern. 1 favor becomes 2. 2 becomes habit. Habit becomes, this is just how we do it. Within months, Sundays turned into bagel mornings. Linda let herself in, set down a bakery bag, tapped the coffee machine with a frown. When did you last clean this?" She rearranged the mugs so they make sense. She put the butter where normal people keep it. She made small talk that wasn't small. "You look tired." "Mike, are you eating enough?" "Oh, Sarah, I saw a great article about getting stains out of white blouses." There was a bright smile, a warm hug, and the steady hum of "I'm helping." Underneath the casserole, there was control. Underneath the smile, there was a key. Sarah tried to be gracious. She made a calendar, suggested Wednesdays for dinner. She texted ahead, "Hey, Sunday is a lazy day for us." But the key kept turning, at times that belonged to the marriage. Early mornings, late dinners, right as the couch got warm, right as the robe was tied. Each time Sarah felt her body brace, like a dog hearing thunder in the distance. Hypervigilance became Sunday's soundtrack. The breaking point, the bagel incident. A quiet Sunday, finally, a day with nothing planned. The bedroom was warm, a chance to reconnect, the kind of morning marriages need. Footsteps in the hall, the key, the cheerful voice in the kitchen. "I brought bagels and cream cheese, the good kind." Sarah froze. Mike scrambled for a shirt. From the bed, Sarah heard the rustle of paper, the squeak of the fridge. Mike laughed. Not cruel, just trained. You know how Sarah likes to sleep in. An hour later, after coffee and bagels and light criticism of the coffee maker, Mike came back and said the sentence that nearly ended everything. "She drove here with fresh bagels." What was I supposed to do? Throw her out? Yes? The answer is yes. Sarah drew a line. Either we protect our home, or I protect myself from our marriage. Mike agreed in theory. But theories are paper boats when tears arrive. The moment Linda's eyes filled, the agreement melted. He apologized to his mother, said of course she was welcome, and promised he'd talk to Sarah. Not because he's cruel, but because he's been trained since childhood. Keep mom happy, peace follows. Set a boundary, war begins. For 30 years, he has been managing her feelings so the house stays calm. Now the cost is his own home, his own wife's nervous system. And Linda, she isn't a cartoon villain. She is a widow, 2 years alone. She built her identity on wife and mother, and the scaffolding is gone. Her son is the last familiar pillar, so she leans hard. In her story, she is helpful, necessary, involved. She does not feel like an intruder. She feels like family. When boundaries are mentioned, her body hears abandonment. So the tears come fast, and the phrases come faster. I guess I'm not wanted. After everything I've done, family doesn't need appointments. And the key stays where it has lived, on her ring. Every Sunday, Sarah lies in bed, listening. Not for birds, not for coffee, but for that key. That is the cost of foggy boundaries. Your nervous system becomes the doorbell. Let's name the red flags, clearly, without speeches, so you can catch them early. Red flag 1, I was in the neighborhood. It turns intrusion into accident and trains you to feel rude for saying no. No one is accidentally on your door at 8 a.m. Sunday, or right at dinner, 3 nights a week. If it happens more than once, it isn't coincidence, it's choreography. And choreography is a choice. Red flag 2, the key that never returns. A house key is access. Access is power. If I'd never use it without permission, then you don't need it. Emergencies, call 911. Why is it a problem now? It was always a problem. We're finally naming it. Don't you trust me? Trust respects doors, not justifies keys. Red flag 3, triangulation. They don't talk to the person holding the boundary. They go around them. Tears for your partner, doubts about your character, nostalgia about how it used to be. You become difficult. Your partner becomes rescuer. The relationship loops. When communication shifts from us with her to me versus you about her, the marriage becomes the battlefield, not the team. Red flag 4, I'm just trying to help. Reorganized kitchens, surprise laundry, constant casseroles. If the help arrives without consent and leaves you feeling smaller, it isn't help, it's control with a smile. Real help asks first, accepts no, and leaves dignity behind when it goes. Red flag 5, tears and guilt as a first response. Feelings are real. Manipulation is learned. If every boundary summons a story of sacrifice, illness, loneliness, doom, you are being moved by strings, not invited into empathy. Her emotions matter, but they are not your access pass. So what do you say when your heart is pounding and your kitchen is occupied? You use short sentences, calm tone, repeatable phrases. You say the same thing, kindly, until the message is heard. Start mild. Linda, we love seeing you. We want to be fully present when we visit. From now on, we need visits scheduled at least a day in advance. What days work for you this week? If she says, we're family, this is so formal? Exactly. Family respects space. Which day works this week? If mild fails, go medium. Dropping by unannounced doesn't work for our household. Please call first and wait for confirmation, starting now. We're happy to set a regular visit so you always know when we'll see you. If she says, so I'm not welcome in my son's home, you are welcome during planned visits. Let's plan one now. If that fails, be firm. We're changing the locks next week. Unscheduled visits are damaging our relationship. You can visit when invited. If you show up without an invitation, we won't answer the door, even if we're home. If she cries or calls you cruel, we hear you. This boundary is necessary for the relationship to work. We love you. We'll see you on day during our planned visit. Now, a few in the moment lines to keep handy on your tongue. When she is already at the door, we're not available for unplanned visits today. Text me 2 options. We'll pick one. When she tries to step inside, Not today. We'll plan a visit. When she says it'll be 5 minutes, I believe you. Today still doesn't work. When she says I brought food, thank you. Leave it by the door. We'll message you to plan a visit. When she says I was worried, call or text first. Next time, if we don't answer, we're not available. When she says I'm family, family respects the house rules. When she whispers Sarah doesn't like me, this is our rule from both of us. Your partner needs fewer words and more action. To Mom, call first before coming over. I'm not asking you to agree. I'm telling you what we need. To Spouse, you're right. This isn't normal. I'll talk to her this week, and we're changing the locks regardless. If your partner wobbles later, offer 2 choices, not debate. Would you like to text your mom now or after dinner? Would you like me to be with you for the call? Or would you prefer to start it and I'll join at the end? Do you want Tuesday at 6 or Saturday at 2 for the planned visit? Choices reduce drama. Boundaries reduce guessing. Now the plan. 5 steps, simple, humane, enforceable, with examples. Align as partners. Have the whose side are you on conversation, without blame. Name the boundary in 1 sentence. Practice the scripts out loud. Decide consequences together so there's no argument at the door later. Make it visible. Write the rule on a sticky by the door. Unplanned visits are not answered. Planned visits are welcome. Change the locks. No announcement, no drama, just do it. If you rent, add an interior latch. Install a doorbell camera so you know when she's there, and so your partner sees the pattern too. If she asks, why didn't my key work? It's part of our home security update. Please call before visiting. Have the talk. Meet together, in neutral space if possible. Say the mild script once, maybe twice. When the conversation loops, end it kindly. We've explained what we need. We'll give it time to sink in. Do not jade, no justified, argue, defend, explain. Short, calm, repeat. Expect the test. Within 2 weeks, she will try. The test is not a crisis. It is an exam you studied for. Do not answer the door. 30 minutes after she leaves, text a single sentence. We weren't available for an unplanned visit today. Let's schedule daytime. If she lingers on the porch, you wait. If she refuses to leave, you ask for help. You do not let the most dramatic person set the rules of engagement. Reward planned visits with warmth. Never relitigate past violations during successful visits. Keep visits time-boxed. Today works 2 to 3:30. If she backslides, consequences happen immediately, without speeches. Keep consequences simple. First violation, no answer, plus the scheduling text. Repeat violation, 2-week timeout. Resumed contact when the boundary is acknowledged. If escalation continues, extend the timeout. Keep messages brief, consistent, and boring. Now, let's walk through the sticking points you're likely to face and how to answer them in 1 or 2 lines. She's lonely. Compassion isn't unlimited access. Her social life can't live in your living room. Offer options. I found a grief group and a senior center class. Want me to sign you up? My partner says I'm overreacting. You're not. They're underreacting because this is normal to them. Invite counseling with a boundary-savvy therapist. If they refuse, go alone. You'll need support and language. She's telling everyone I'm abusive. Calling first isn't abuse, it's adulthood. Anyone who can't see that is showing you their own boundary problems. Your whole statement to the family is 1 sentence. We've asked for planned visits. That's the only issue. She threatens self-harm. Call 911 every time. If it's real, she gets help. If it's manipulation, it stops working. You are not equipped to be her crisis team. What about holidays? Healthy culture evolves. The tradition you keep is consent. Everything else is decoration. Schedule exact window. Christmas Day 2-5, New Year's brunch 11-1. Time boxing protects peace. What if there really is an emergency? Emergency services exist. Your door is not an ER. If she needs help, she calls for it. If you need to check in, you call. You do not surrender the key. What about grandchildren? Grandparent relationships are a privilege, not a right. Children learn how to be adults by watching adults. If they see you hold calm boundaries, they learn calm boundaries. If they watch chaos win, they learn to perform chaos. What if she brings gifts and uses them like tickets? They thank you and keep the boundary. Thank you for the food. Today still doesn't work. Text 2 options. We'll pick one. Gifts don't buy access. Tickets are for shows, not for home. What if she plays the health card? You can help without surrendering the house. Offer rides, appointments, deliveries, and still say, please call first. We'll plan what works. What if your partner flips when she flips? Return to the written agreement. Point to the sticky by the door. Ask for a small action, not a big promise. Can you send the scheduling text now? Small actions build new patterns. If you're the partner with the parent problem, hear this with love. Your spouse didn't create this dynamic. They married into it. Your parents' tears are not a weather event you must endure. They are a signal to slow down, acknowledge, and still hold the line. Good sons and daughters become good spouses when they learn to say, I love you, and the answer is no. That sentence is not betrayal, it is growth. Let's rehearse the lines, one more time, out loud, so they're ready when you need them. Please call first and wait for confirmation. We're happy to plan a regular visit, so you always know when we'll see you. We won't answer the door for unplanned visits, even if we're home. We love you. These boundaries keep the relationship healthy. To my partner, thank you for choosing our marriage first. Notice what these sentences do. They are short, calm, specific. No justifications, no dissertations, no courtroom exhibits. You are not trying to win a debate. You are naming the rule for your home. If you want a bridge back to closeness, you'll build it on top of boundaries, not instead of them. Invite her to a weekly lunch, at a restaurant where everyone is a guest. Ask about her week. Encourage friendships. Suggest a grief group. Offer to help set up a hobby she used to love. Closeness without consent is captivity. Closeness with consent is connection. A word to the extended family, the flying monkeys who will text, call, and pressure you to be the bigger person. We are being the bigger people. We are making a boundary that protects everyone's dignity. We are saying yes to relationship. We are saying no to access on demand. If someone insists they need a key just in case, offer alternatives. A lockbox for literal emergencies. A neighbor you trust. Emergencies have plans, not secret keys. What if she shows up and refuses to leave the porch? You don't debate through the door. You send the scheduling line. If she lingers, you wait. If she escalates, you call for help. You do not let the loudest person set the rules. If guilt eats at you later, remember the math. One boundary protects 3 relationships. It protects your marriage. It protects you from resentment. And it protects her from becoming the person who ruins Sunday mornings. Here's the truth. You are not the villain for wanting privacy. Needing notice isn't cruelty, it's courtesy. Your home is not her therapy. Your marriage is not her entertainment. Your boundaries are not meanness. They are meaning, I want a relationship with you that works. Key phrase to practice this week, we need you to call first and wait for confirmation. Say it in the mirror. Say it to your partner. Say it until it feels normal. Because it is normal. Homework. Change the locks this week. Don't ask, don't warn, just do it. Set a regular visit if you want one. And hold the door closed. kindly until the new pattern is real. You're not wrong. You're not mean. You're just done being invaded. Wiser, real conflicts, grown-up solutions. Doorstep test day. It is a quiet Saturday, laundry humming, a movie half-picked. The doorbell rings, and then the old habit. The key tries, fails, tries again. You look at your partner, and you both breathe. This is the exam you studied for. You do not peek, you do not whisper fight, you do not pace. You open your phone and type the line you rehearsed. We weren't available for an unplanned visit today. Text 2 options. We'll pick one. You set the phone down and keep living inside your home. You do not narrate your private life through the door. You do not fix her feelings from the hallway. You hear chairs on the porch. You hear a sigh. You hear nothing. You wait 30 minutes. You send the text. You return to your laundry. Later, when your heart has stopped bracing, you notice something new. The house feels like it belongs to the two of you again. That is what a boundary buys. Nervous systems that come back to calm. Extended family pushback. The group chat lights up. A cousin who loves drama. An aunt who keeps score. Be the bigger person. Family is everything. After everything she's done for you. You type one sentence, and only one. We've asked for planned visits. That's the entire issue. If someone presses for details, you repeat the sentence. If someone demands a defense, you repeat the sentence. You are not on trial, you are building a fence. Fences are not about punishment, they are about clarity. Clarity lets love visit and leave, and return again. Partner practice drill. Stand in the kitchen together, phones silenced, feet planted. Look at each other, not the door. Say these lines out loud, slowly, like you mean them, because you do. Please call first and wait for confirmation. We won't answer the door for unplanned visits, even if we're home. We're happy to plan a regular time so everyone knows what to expect. We love you, and we're not debating this. Now switch roles. One of you plays Linda, one of you holds the boundary. Linda says, I was worried. Boundary answers, call or text next time. If we don't answer, we're not available, Linda says. It will just take 5 minutes. Boundary answers, not today, we'll plan a visit. Linda says, I brought food. Boundary answers, thank you, leave it by the door. We'll message you to plan a visit. Linda says, you're turning my child against me. Boundary answers, this is our rule, from both of us. Now switch back. Feel how your body wants to explain, and practice not explaining. Short, calm, repeatable. This is how couples become a team. This is how homes become quiet again. When you're ready, add one more bridge back to connection. Pick a recurring slot that protects your best hours. Sunday late afternoon instead of morning. A weeknight dinner in public instead of your kitchen. Make it predictable, brief, and mutual. Thursdays 6 to 7:30 works for us. We'll meet you at the cafe. We'll text if we need to move it. Consistency is kinder than access on demand. It gives everyone something to count on and takes pressure off every other day. If the porch scene repeats and your resolve starts to shake, remember the math again. One boundary protects 3 relationships. Your marriage, your own peace, and your dignity. Because dignity is not getting what you want, whenever you want. Dignity is being welcomed, when you are invited. It is being hosted, not barging in. It is leaving so you can be welcomed again. If you slip one day, and answer the door. You didn't ruin the boundary forever. You just taught yourself what it costs. Name it, reset it, rehearse one more time, and return to the line that holds the house. Please call first and wait for confirmation. Boundaries are not perfection, they are practice. Practice turns into muscle, Muscle turns into quiet. Quiet turns into Sunday mornings that belong to you again.